Hey guys, how you doing? It's Martin Cliffe again. Welcome to another video. Now, a couple of weeks ago I posted about preparing for a no-buy year challenge, and since I posted about that on Facebook a few months ago, and then with the video as well, I've had a couple of questions, a couple of people just asking me about it, maybe because they're interested, maybe just because they think I'm completely insane. I don't know what it is. So I just thought I'd kind of expand on it a little bit in terms of what does it mean, how does it work, and that kind of thing. So if this is something that interests you, I'd really appreciate it if you'd click the thumbs up icon down below and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Trying to build a nice community here. Numbers are growing gradually, but it'd be great to get them a bit higher. So how does it work? Well, you will probably find various examples of this on the internet, on the various minimalist blogs and stuff like that. I read recently, which I talked about in the last video, but I hadn't finished it at that point, The Year of Less, and that it was just sort of reinforced something that was already in my mind about this whole thing. But one of the keys, I think, as with a lot of things, realistically, if you're someone who wants to follow rules, that takes you down a very narrow or sometimes a very confusing subset of minimalism. Whereas if you use minimalism and minimalist principles as a tool to help you live a more fulfilled life, that is a much more kind of open and personalizable kind of approach to things, which to me is a very helpful way of thinking of things. So for this kind of challenge, for a no-buy challenge, this is not just about the financial crisis that the world's going in or anything, but it does seem a pretty good year to do it as a result. You set your own rules. How strict do you want to be in this context? Do you want it to be where you can buy small things? Do you want to be where you can literally only buy food from the grocery stores? You need to decide exactly what level of strictness, I guess, you can have in this. So we said right from the outset that we are still going to go out for meals, once, maybe twice a week, sometimes, usually once a week. We live in a city where we socialise with friends by going out for meals. Usually after church we'll go out for a meal on a Sunday together as a group, and that is, particularly for me working from home, one of the best opportunities for me to socialise with people. And while I'm an introvert and I like being on my own, I still enjoy that interaction for that short period. I just couldn't do it every day, all day, every day. So that's something that was completely not a chance of cutting that out of our lives. That's something that was important to us. But maybe it is that you can buy things if you replace them, if you're replacing something else. That would follow the one in, one out rule. I'm a bit uncomfortable about rules sometimes in this context, but if you say, okay, I'm going to get this because I'm getting rid of something else. And that's a good principle to follow generally in life. But for me, at least, is in this no-buy year, that is not going to be a general principle where, I can buy something because I'm replacing something else, unless it is absolutely worn out and rotten and horrid, which is something else to think about. Another question you might have is, well, is this just a personal thing or is this a household thing? I imagine, if you're in a large family, this could be quite a difficult thing to do, particularly if you've got teenagers or whatever, or growing kids. You're going to have to keep buying stuff more. So for me, this is a personal thing. I mean, Eva is going to, I think, try and buy less in the year, but this isn't something that is something she's setting out. I'm setting this out as a personal challenge, which doesn't mean that we're going to buy lots and lots of stuff for the household. We have pretty much everything we need in our household at this stage, but at the same time, this is, Eva is not going to say, no, I'm not going to buy any shoes or clothes, partly because she needs new clothes sometimes for work and that kind of thing, and partly because this is my challenge. This is something that I've decided to do, and I've decided to do for me, not for us, because I'm not going to be telling anyone else what to do. You could ask, what if you sell something? So if you're trying to go down a more minimalist route as a musician or as a collector or something, you say, okay, if I sell a guitar, can I buy another guitar? Or if I sell, I don't know what it is, a watch, can I buy another watch? For me, that decision would be no this year. I've made that decision that I will still continue to try and sell stuff because I'm still trying to reduce the amount of possessions I have. But I'm not looking to buy anything to replace those. And even, if I donate clothing or whatever like that, I'll be donating stuff that is surplus. So, although I've done most of that already. So I won't be looking then to bring more stuff in as a result of selling or giving away things, because that could easily be, for me, an excuse to buy something. So I would give something away just so I could buy something, and I know the way my brain works, and that wouldn't be particularly helpful for me. But are there any exceptions? And I think it's worth setting this out at the start of the year, making a note of things. So for me, there are a couple of things that, if stuff literally where that, if my shoes fall apart, I will buy some new shoes. Although I probably have enough. I think I have 3 or 4 pairs of shoes that I could wear. So I'm probably not going to have that situation. But if I end up with a situation where my formal shoes get a hole in and I need formal shoes for something, then maybe I can go and buy a new pair of formal shoes as long as I get rid of the old ones. The two exceptions that I'm going to say right from the outset are, at the moment, I have an iPhone 12 mini. I've had it for 2 years, just pretty much to the week. And it's still working well for me. But the battery is not as good as it was when I got it. It's not deteriorating as much as I thought it would. It went down to from 98% to 86% battery health in the first 18 months, and it's pretty much sat at 86% since. So I'm not desperately in need of a new phone. But who's to say over the next 12 months, if it gets a lot worse. I've also got an issue where the lightning port on the bottom doesn't work anymore. So I have to use a MagSafe charger, which is fine because I bought a MagSafe charger. It wasn't expensive, and I can charge my phone that way. It does mean I can't now plug in audio interfaces or anything into my phone, but I can still do that on my iPad. So that's something I can work around. But at some point, if the phone does get to a point where it's no longer reasonably workable for the things I want it to do, then maybe I will get a new phone. But that would be at least September, October time. I'm not aiming to do that. It's just if it gets to a point where it's unworkable. The other thing that I'm putting on my exceptions list is a pair of glasses. These glasses I've had at least 6, maybe 7 years. They're really nice glasses. They're titanium frames, they're super light, but they're twisted like nobody's business. Both lenses have scratches on from when we were living in Hong Kong, and I dropped them a couple of times when we were in the lift, and the concrete scratched the lens and stuff. So they're getting to a point where really they could do with a replacement. So probably at some point in the new year, I will be looking, maybe like Easter time or something, I will be looking to replace my glasses. And I will probably keep the old ones as spares. I need my glasses just for on-screen use and reading. I guess technically driving, I should probably wear them, and I do generally wear them for driving. Not that I do a lot of driving here at the moment, but that is something that, over the last 5-6 years, my prescription has probably worsened slightly. So I am more than due new glasses. So that is on my list, just because I'm probably not going to get a chance to get it sorted out before the end of 2022 at this stage. So they're the 2 exceptions that I'm putting on the list. I'm also going to make one other thing, which is to say that we are looking into getting a car. We haven't formally decided when or what type of car or whatever it is. But where we are here in Bucharest, there is a lot of Eastern Europe that is travelable by driving. Yeah, you can visit lots of interesting countries within a couple of days drive, or even a day's drive for a lot of things. So yeah, there's lots of interesting places you can get to. And as part of our seeking to keep our carbon footprint low, if we can avoid flying and drive instead, then that, yeah, although we would take the train to some places, these are options that will be available to us. We would not use it for daily commuting, at least not unless I get a job that requires that. But it would, we would still continue to use bikes for that kind of thing, or the public transport system here in Bucharest itself. So it's not for within the city, but outside the city, it would be really handy to have a car. So it's something we're looking into, and that may happen in 2023. We're not sure. We'll see how things go. I guess the final thing that I would add to the list of quite possible spending would be on holidays, and literally on the travel costs, the hotels and flights and all that kind of thing. Yeah, we like to get away when we can. I am not seeking to buy any stuff, but doesn't mean I'm seeking to reduce my quality of life or not enjoy myself during the next year. Travel is something that we enjoy doing together, so it's something that we're going to continue doing. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Have you ever done this? Are you considering doing this? Maybe this is, the current financial situation is making you think very seriously about this. It's a challenge. It can be fun if you approach it in the right way, but it is going to be tough. And for some people, particularly someone who maybe shops socially, that's not something I've ever done. If I go shopping, I'll usually go on my own. I'll go in, I'll decide the thing I'm going to buy before I've gone to the shop. I'll buy it and I'll come home again. I don't hang around in shopping malls or anything like that. If that is something that you like to do, then it would be more of a challenge for you than it is for me. But there will be times when it's tough, when I'll decide I want something and then remember, but I said I'm not buying anything this year. So looking forward to the challenge. But let me know any of your thoughts or experiences or comments one way or the other. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a good one.